welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Before we move on, I just want to say that I have to, my boss who is behind the camera, he has to tell everybody to clap. They're all looking at me and saying, "We don't want to do that." I understand, it's the hair. Okay, my first guest tonight is a musician, and he's going to play a little bit with us here after I'm done, you know, picking his brain. I'm going to ask him a lot of tough questions like ISIS and about George Bush and the government.
I set myself up.
Everybody wants that. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Brad Selby.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
So you get a better applause than I do.
Yeah.
You do. That's always the case. All the guests get better applause than I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. You got to kiss up to them, of course.
Of course.
Thank you for coming. You kind of came here like quick notice.
Right.
We got here earlier today, and I said, "Oh, well, I don't have a guest. I didn't, think I got told you before. It's kind of hard to get people to come in." He says, "Oh, let me just give him a call," and then you came right here. So thank you. Now, how long have you been playing guitar for?
About 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow, you've been playing guitar about as long as I've been alive.
Pretty much. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh wow.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Trying not to make you feel old.
No. Hopefully I don't look that old, but. You know.
Well, compared to my boss, I mean, you're way younger.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Don't fire me, George, please. Don't, please. No, so like, do you like what kind of like style do you play in terms of playing with the guitar?
Pretty much anything, man. Like Spanish flamenco, rock, especially kind of like a Beatles feel, Green Day kind of feel.
Like classic kind of thing. So you like it varies, right?
Right, it varies. Yeah, I don't have a certain style, just like everything.
I see. When you were, because I ask you this because this is from experience, because I think about me 10 years ago. My dad had said, because we were forming a church band, and he said. Which is weird because we were forming a church band with this guy named Michael Jackson. It's not who you think it is.
Really?
Yeah, no, he's this Hispanic guy. His name is Michel Jackson. We called him Michael. Just weird. But he gave us like instruments to use, and we bought them with the church money. And they asked me to play the guitar. Now my question is, when you were learning how to play the guitar, the one thing I have is like I had a problem putting pressure on the strings of my fingers.
Of course.
And I was kind of a wuss as a child. I kind of still am. Just look at me. Don't be afraid to laugh, guys, by the way, just so you know. The noise is what we want. Shut up, Max! So when I started playing it, I would sit in my room and he'd sit right next to me, and I would put my finger on the guitar, on the strings, and it would hurt me. How does a guitarist deal with that? I mean, I wasn't able to do it. I gave you props for doing it.
Right. Well, see, look at my fingers. They're still kind of messed up from playing. That never kind of goes away. But I like to look at it as like pain is pleasure. Once you start learning the guitar, you learn certain phrases, guitar chords, and then, after a while you forget about the pain. It just kind of goes away. But the next day you feel it, but it's kind of like pleasure because you're like, oh, I learned this new song, or I learned these new chords. So, it develops as a kind of like a, pleasure technique, like you don't mind it after a while, but no, that is kind of rough. It's painful at first.
Yeah. Oh well, that's good. I mean, because I always thought that you had to be some sort of crazy person to do that. I mean, I'm not calling you crazy, by the way. That's very dismissive. But because when I did it, I consider myself normal, I guess. So when I did it, I thought no sane person would ever want to do this. So big props to you on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you play with a band at all?
Currently I do, yeah.
Do you know what's the name of the band?
Boombox Boutique.
Boombox Boutique. How did you guys come up with that name?
We were just like, we needed a name, and we're just going like text messaging each other, and we're just like, we just gotta come up with a name. We started throwing ideas out there, and one of the guys is like, how about Boombox Boutique? And we all kind of agreed on it, took a vote, and we're like, all right, we'll do that.
Oh, I see. How long have you guys been playing together for?
Not very long, only about 4 months now. It's a new band, so we're working on new material.
What kind of style do you guys play in the band?
It's kind of like, it's like soft rock kind of thing, kind of a feel, you know what I mean? Like indie rock, I should say.
Any like examples of like similarities to it? I mean, maybe
we have some like kind of like one song we have. It's called Kush Kush, and it's like kind of like a Green Day-ish feel. It's like Green Day power chords, like it's a little distortion in it.
Oh, I see.
So it's similar to that.
How many members are in the band?
We got 5 of us.
And it's a drummer, bass, and
drummer, bass, 2 guitars. I play lead. I got rhythm guitars, and then a lead singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you guys one thing I always noticed, at least when I used to see other bands practice when I was younger, was that sometimes when they would play, someone would always try and someone would always try and overmatch, because they want to be the star of the show.
Yeah.
Seeing as how you are lead, how in terms of like trying to sync together, how do you guys deal with like when you guys practice? What do you guys do when you practice besides just trying to get everything together?
It's a lot of ideas. Someone will come up with a song, like my friend Vic, he comes up with the main, like, you know, guitar riffs and stuff like that. Then we all just kind of collaborate on it. And the problem is, in certain bands, and this is an issue sometimes, like you said, someone wants to be the star of the band. And, you know, basically, you know, one person writes a song, they already have it in their head when they're home. Then they present it to the band, and we have all these other ideas. So the main person's always, like, kind of married to the, you know, the song already. It's like their baby. And like we come in, we're like, oh, we gotta, you know, we like this idea or this idea, let's change it. So it's kind of tough, but you know, we gotta kind of like collaborate with each other and like come to an agreement. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
That's how we normally do it.
Oh,
a lot of trial and error, but we eventually get there.
It's kind of like, you know, it's crazy to say that because it's kind of like with comedy in the sense that when you're up here and you stand up and you say jokes and you know you're attached to that.
Right.
And then when you go out and present to the people, you know you depend on the reaction. And if you want to collaborate with someone else or you want to offer something, sometimes, especially with some people. Max, hello. No, no, but with some people though, like with other people that I've worked with, when you try and give material to them, and they're kind of adamant on not accepting it because it's not theirs, you know, and you know, especially you know, so it's funny you say that. Yeah. You brought a guitar with you today.
Yes.
What kind of guitar is that?
It's an acoustic Taylor guitar.
I see. Now you don't need a speaker for that, I'm assuming, right?
No.
Yeah, shows how much I know, right?
Just an acoustic, yeah, no electric.
Shows how much I know. Now, what are you gonna play for us tonight?
I'll play a cover song by the Foo Fighters, Everlong.
Oh, I love the Foo Fighters.
Perfect.
You know, you know, for anyone who knows me, I'm a huge Dave Letterman fan.
Right.
I love the Foo Fighters, and it just so happens that he likes the Foo Fighters too.
Awesome.
He actually, the week. Well, I don't want to be specific on taping dates because you know when we edit this, it's kind of. But as we're taping this episode, the week that was previously that occurred, he had the Foo Fighters on for a whole week.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
he had Dave Grohl and all those guys come in, and I think they're great. So it's going to be awesome to hear that. So thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. So I can't wait to hear you.
All right.
Now for the musical performance, here is Brad Selby.
ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say.
Thank you so. Oh, that was so cool. Awesome. I was jamming inside. I didn't want to move too much because then it would have gotten all over the camera.
Right.
Brad Selby, ladies and gentlemen. Another round of applause for the man. Thank you again for coming by.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me.
We're gonna
take another one.
Yeah. I guess so. Oh, all right. So let's take a break and we'll be right back with another song from Brad Selby, gentlemen. Here, what are you gonna give us now?
We're gonna do the Beatles' "Hide Your Love Away."
Oh, great. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Brad Selby again. Ever wanted to perform something on here.
Cool.
I think you're the only one that's come on here that's actually done more than they should have. And it came out awesome. But again, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Not
Let me
a problem.
shake your hand again. Thank you.
Anytime.
Brad Selby, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with the rest of the program. Stay tuned.